might bring. But so long as we believe in ourselves, there is naught we cannot achieve. Now, it is time that you made ready for your journey. Before you depart, be sure to speak with Tataru. She will appraise you as to where and when the remembrance services are due to take place.
Behold, 'tis the Sultana Nanima herself!
And Roban as well!
Hark you, souls of flame, drawn to the bosom of the desert, where the fire burns brightest and shall rage forevermore! Hurrah! Roban! Where since antiquity, under the sage and judicious rule of the Ul dynasty, we have wrought sand into gold, where by the grace and glory of Naldal have our brave sons and daughters flourished and prospered. I speak of Ul'dah!
There, at the Flame General's back flies the Grand Company's standard. Note the sigil. The golden scales of order balance the jewel of prosperity with the flame of might.
Great and many are the gifts our nation has given the realm. In Eorzea's darkest hour, on the killing fields of Cartano, none spent more in blood and gold than we. Thus was the 7th Imperial Legion laid low.
So that's how it happened. How soon history forgets.
Yet many left our gates, never to return. Let us pray for our absent brothers and sisters, that they might know happiness in the great beyond, as Thal's honored guests. If the fates were fair, the price we paid that day would have bought us victory. Alas, they are not. And now, but 5 years into this 7th Umbral era, the spirit of sacrifice which granted us our strength is all but dead. Look around you. What do you see? A people divided, downtrodden and enthralled. Where are the merciful alms of the rich? Where is the just steel of the righteous? I ask you, is this the great nation our brothers and sisters gave their lives to save? You who call this living, dishonor the name of the immortal flames. It is but a slow death. Our enemies surround us. The savage hordes of the Amalja wait beside our roads, strangling the lifelines of trade. Meanwhile, the Guardians make mock of our borders and despoil our land of its natural wealth. We stand on a precipice, yet we do not act. Whether trader or soldier, monetarist or royalist, all must recognize that a divided Ul'dah stands to fall. Victory and fortune walk hand in hand. Ye who seek glory and wealth, look not to what little you can snatch from your neighbor, but to the boundless wealth of the world beyond. Now is the time to unite. Now is the time to ride forth. In the name of the Sultana, I beseech you! Line not your own coffers, but those of the immortal flames. Seek not to prosper from Ul'dah, but to restore her to prosperity. As the realm prospers, so shall Ul'dah. As Ul'dah prospers, so shall her people.
Yeah, for Ul'dah!
Together we are one.
Your grace.
Raban? People of Ul'dah, I, Nanimo, 17th in the line of Ul, address you. Much has been made of the wealth of Ul'dah. Yet those who measure that wealth in coins and carats are gravely deceived. For the true wealth of Ul'dah lies in the health, happiness, and hopes of her people. Beloved subjects, I bid you raise aloft the torch of Ul'dah, that her flames might serve as a beacon for all Eorzea to see.
Long live Nanamo!
Glory to the Sultana!
For victory and fortune, stride fearless into the inferno, for we are, by fire, reborn! Forsooth!
The time is now!
If you'll permit me, Alfie no. And my sister, Alize, at your service. I saw at a glance that you were a fellow traveler. You might call us students of history, sampling the realm's remembrances in pursuit of enlightenment.
The Ul'dahs have a long history of conflict with the Amalja, the beast tribe that worships the primal Ifrit. Judging by your look of distaste, I take it you have encountered them. The Ul'dahs do not shy away from confrontation. If aught threatens their precious prosperity, they will seek to crush it. So have they dealt with Ifrit thus far, smoldering his flames each time he is stoked to life. Yet, he is one of several problems. Though they have been quiet these past 5 years, the Garleans have not gone away. Meanwhile, refugees continue to arrive in droves, and Ul'dah has no clear policy on how to deal with them. After all, not even the Sultanate's coffers are bottomless, and even assuming they had the coin, resources will ever be finite. Which brings me back to the subject of Ifrit. It has been observed that the Amalja are summoning him with ever-increasing frequency. Every time they do so, the Ul'dahs send their forces to smite the primal, and though they invariably succeed, each victory is brought with blood. It is a war of attrition which they cannot well sustain. Small wonder, then, that the Immortal Flames are eager to recruit more members. At such a desperate hour, an adventurer of your experience would be most welcome addition to their ranks.
I lost my son to the calamity.
The 3 Seed Seers are all together.
Some say you couldn't take a step without stumbling over a body. Our forebears were once strangers in the Twelveswood. Fearful of the green wrath, they hid themselves in the dark recesses of the earth. Yet they dreamed of basking in the dappled sunlight of the forest. Through great effort, they proved their worth to the elementals, and were granted a place beneath the boughs. So it was that Gridania was born, some 5 centuries ago. Working hand in hand, the Muir and the Elysian settlers sowed the seeds of our civilization, and soon they were joined by folk of all races. So nourished by the waters of unity, and blessed by the light of the matron, Gridania flourished into the great nation it is today.
Do you see the Gridanian standard? There, hanging behind the Elder Seed Seer. The entwined serpents represent the unity between Muir and Elysian. An elegant symbol, do you not agree?
In accordance with the will of the elementals, we have embraced a life of peace. Alas, Our neighbors have not always sought the same for themselves, nor for us. Though we Gridanians have no love for war, we have still less for those who would threaten our way of life. Ever have we fought to protect the sanctity of the Twelveswood. When the Garlean Empire brought its war of conquest to Eorzea, we rallied under the noble standard of the Twin Adder that we might push back the encroaching darkness. And it was we who prepared the ground for the reformation of the Eorzean Alliance, that all the peoples of this realm might stand united against the common threat. "5 years ago, the Alliance met the armies of the Empire upon the fields of Cartano. It would prove the bloodiest battle in recent memory. Countless Gridanian lives were lost. As Supreme Commander of the Order of the Twin Adder, ever shall I bear the weight of our people's sacrifice. Alas, their loss was not the only tragedy to befall us that day, for soon came the calamity. The scars borne by our forest are a constant reminder of its violence. Our lives have been irrevocably changed, each waking hour a struggle to survive. Driven to desperation, some among us have strayed from the path of righteousness, resorting to banditry, poaching, and other unconscionable deeds. To compound our woes, the Ixal have returned in force, emboldened by our suffering. They test our defenses nigh without cease, and prey upon the vulnerable. So beleaguered from within and without, it is of little wonder that our unity now falters. Dark times are upon us.
Time was a man could walk
pox
the
on the
high
bloody
roads without
Ixal.
fear.
On this day, 5 years ago, countless Eorzeans laid down their lives that we might behold another dawn. Please join with me in honoring their memory.
And how do you propose to honor the memory of those you cannot remember, pray tell?
The destruction wrought by the calamity was indiscriminate. It dealt death to Eorzean and Garlean alike. Yet while we have labored to rebuild our homes, to rebuild our lives, the Empire has set about raising steel fortresses here in the Twelveswood. Let none be mistaken. The Garleans remain the greatest threat to our survival. If we are to stand against them, we must remember what it is to be united. Our many troubles blind us to the woes of our fellow man. Thence is harmony lost. Yet harmony is the founding principle of Gridania. We are gathered here to honor the fallen. Let them be honored not only in word and thought, but through concerted action. I bid you join hands with me once more beneath the Twin Adder's standard. And together, let us heal the forest's wounds, that our progeny might live in harmony beneath these ancient boughs. For serenity, purity, and sanctity, we must think of the children!
Woods will be done.
It's up to us to protect the
All
forest.
the elementals!
If you'll permit me, Alfie no. And my sister, Alize, at your service. I saw at a glance that you were a fellow traveler. You might call us students of history, sampling the realm's remembrances in pursuit of enlightenment.
The Gridanians are unfortunate enough to have had to contend with the two beast tribes. The Exile are unquestionably the more troublesome, being of a naturally warlike disposition, and wont to summon their bloodthirsty primal Garuda. The Sylphs, by contrast, are peaceful in nature, being mischievous rather than malevolent, and having long been on friendly terms with the Gridanians, until recently last. Alas, they have grown aloof. A change observed at roughly the time they summoned their primal Ramu. The Gridanians have no fear of war. They consider open conflict as a last resort. Though they clash with the Exile ever more regularly, you may be assured that they do so in self-defense. As for the Sylphs, they are as yet bound by a peace treaty, though one wonders how long it will be before it is broken. The Twelveswood was grievously wounded during the calamity, leaving Gridania vulnerable to attack. The people are hopeful that restoring the woods, and thereby the power of the elementals, will put an end to their woes. Yet how long will that take? Centuries, I'd wager. Meanwhile, the Exile will continue their incursions, spurred on by Garuda and her insatiable appetite for destruction. Whether the Gridanians like it or not, sooner or later it will come to an all-out war, and when it does, the Order of the Twin Adder will need all the help it can muster. How valuable might the aid of a capable adventurer prove to them then?
The Garleans are another matter altogether.
So much for our alliance.
It's sunk beyond the seabed.
Brothers and sisters of the sea, hearken unto me. Look upon this, our mighty crimson standard, and tell me your hearts do not swell with pride. "700 summers have come and gone since our forefathers first ran aground in this fertile bay. In that time, guided by the Mother of Oceans, Limsa Lominsa has grown from humble fishing village to uncontested ruler of the 5 seas and beyond.
Did you look as the Admiral bid you? It is a rather stirring standard, I must say. The crimson field is meant to signify the blood of fallen crewmates, while the black longship represents a pirate vessel.
When the Garlean Empire marched upon Eorzea, we assembled beneath the Maelstrom standard, and our grand company was reborn. All answered the call, from the Knights of the Barracuda to Hilthier's bloody executioners, and together we met our would-be conquerors upon the field of Carteneau. That day, the world bore witness to the united strength of Limsa Lominsa. I swear to you no army ever fought harder or with more courage, yet many of ours did not survive. Join me now in remembering those who fought in the name of freedom and fell. May their souls be returned to the sea.
Freedom. Yes, they have always been rather fond of their freedom. Much as the beast tribes have. Small wonder. Beneath the surface, one would struggle to tell them apart.
It has been 5 long years since the calamity struck. 5 long years of tireless rebuilding. Yet still the wounds of the calamity fester and weep. But when I stand atop the mizzenmast and gaze out upon our battered and broken vessel, I see an undying spirit. Did we not build all this from the wreck of the Galadian all those centuries ago? Shall we not do so again? Yet there are those who would see this ship of ours sink beneath the waves of the restless Rotano. The Sahagin creep ashore seeking blood for their accursed god.
Those fishback
The Sahagin have risen?
While the mines of Ogomoro spew forth kobolds who push ever south, despoiling our lands as they go. These savage beast tribes will be the first waves to crash against our creaking hull. And behind them swells the grim tide of the Garlean Empire. Even now the curs fly their flags within our borders. Doubt not, but that they will be upon us ere long. We are well nigh surrounded. Yet there are those among us who would rather turn their swords against their crewmates than our cannons against our foes. How can we hope to repel our many enemies when mutiny breeds below deck? There is but one course left to us. One bearing that will bring us victory over the beast hordes and the Empire both, and see this ship safe to port. We must mend the rift the calamity has reopened twixt pirate and maelstrom, and stand fast with our adventurer brothers against the coming tempest. Mark ye well, a crew without unity is no crew at all. 'Tis but a mass of drowned men. To me, then, brothers and sisters of the sea, gather beneath the undying crimson standard and pledge me your strength, your skill, your wisdom. And with the guidance of the navigator, this great vessel of ours shall ride the waves till sea swallows all.
Long live the Admiral!
Mervyn!
Gather the lads!
Oh, where's me cutlass?
I'll follow ye to the 7 hells, Admiral!
If you'll permit me, Alfie no. And my sister, Alize, at your service. I saw at a glance that you were a fellow traveler. You might call us students of history, sampling the realm's remembrances in pursuit of enlightenment.
As the Admiral mentioned in her address, Lim's Leminsa is plagued by 2 beast tribes. The first are the fish-like Sahagin, worshippers of the primal Leviathan. The second are the kobolds, whom dwell beneath the earth, and take the primal Titan for their god. As if the beast tribe's presence weren't troublesome enough, the Garleans have also chosen to erect a fortress right within the Lemensians' backyard. And that is to say naught of internal strife. As a nation of pirates, there is no end to the blood feuds between various factions, and while they fight amongst themselves, the Garleans whet their blades and watch. If the Lemensians are to have any hope of withstanding the Empire, they must first resolve their own affairs, differences must be set aside and the primal threat dealt with once and for all. To this end, I expect that they will soon take decisive action against the beast tribes. Mark my words, the Maelstrom Standard will be drenched a deeper shade of crimson ere long. That a capable adventurer like you would be a valuable addition to their crew is beyond question. But will you sail with the Admiral?
The gods only know what grand company our adventurer friend will keep. The wheels of change are in motion regardless.
Brother, are you certain this course is best?
Whatever do you mean, dear sister?
The so-called remembrance ceremonies were little more than standard waving rallies. As though the Calamity and Seventh Umbral era warranted scarcely a mention.
Well, of course they were standard waving rallies. Since you are so observant, mayhap you noticed what mention was made of the Warriors of Light? None. I suppose they must have forgotten the heroes who spared Eorzea a fate worse than the Calamity? No, dear Alizé, they haven't forgotten these details. They have elected to omit them. Deep are the wounds the Calamity inflicted upon Eorzea. So deep, in fact, that the realm still bleeds. Needless to say, the beast tribes and their primals do little to alleviate the pain. So, the task of salving Eorzea's wounds falls to the scions of the Seventh Dawn, with a little help from our friends, the Grand Companies. Remembrance will yield no remedy. If our world is to heal, we must put the horrors of the Calamity behind us.
Our grandfather would never entrust the fate of the realm to despots who rewrite history to their convenience. There must be another way to cure what ails this world, and I mean to find it.
You are most welcome to try. Our paths may differ, but our destination is the same. In time, I dare say, we will see eye to eye.
I should hope so.
My lady!
We are to escort you!
Hope does not come into it. We share the burden of this fate, dear sister, and will prevail together or not at all. The salve will serve not only to close up our present wounds, but prevent old ones from opening anew.
An adventurer? What are you doing out here? No, wait. Let's find some cover first. Maelstrom Command sent you. How do I know you're not an Imperial spy? You don't even have a uniform. Pity, sir. We are of the Maelstrom. You're a Garlon Ironworks engineer, yes? By our lookout, one of our lookouts reported an attack on your craft. We're here to assist you. You must be Muir. Good work on reaching our friend here before the Imperials. I've never seen a craft of this design. It must be Garland's work. There is no end to this. Is there no end to that man's treachery? The secrets of Magitech belong in Imperial hands. Then they are not to be squandered on Eorzean savages. We are taking this craft back to the fortress. Dismantle it if you must. And bring the engineer. Someone must pay for Garland's crimes. Scouting party from the Castromos Sedins. I'd say. Seems they want your ship, engineer. Wedge! You can't. You have to help him. That fool of a Lalafell was hiding inside the tiny Bronco. The tiny Bronco? Isn't that the new design people have been whispering about? It is the first airship we built since the Calamity. The first since Master Garland, well, since he went missing. After years of work, she was finally ready for her first test flight. And she was soaring, she really was. Till those bastards blasted her out of the sky. Alright, pay attention. We're going to hit these Imperials hard and fast. If they want a souvenir from Eorzea, they can have a knife in the gut. But they're not going to get that ship. Oh, and don't forget to save that Lullaby. What do you say, Muir? Ready to give those curs a hiding? Like a tidal wave, lads. Charge. An ambush to arms! Let us start afresh, shall we? You are welcome here, Muir. That such a well-respected adventurer would choose to join our ranks is most heartening. Before you swear your allegiance to us, however, it is only right that I tell you exactly what it is that you will be joining. A grand company is more than simply a collection of soldiers. It is an all-encompassing organization which draws upon the resources of an entire city-state to form a united military force capable of standing against a nation's deadliest enemies. We of the Maelstrom are charged with meeting the threats posed by the Primals and the Garlean Empire, and solving the many problems caused by the Calamity. Every man and woman who serves under our colors has a role to play in keeping the great warship that is Limsleminster afloat, and on whatever heading Chief Admiral Muir Blofusman sees fit to set. As part of this grand vessel's crew, you will be expected to take your turn at the oars, for the winds do not look favorable, lad, and the strength of arm may be all that sets us safe to port. If I've lost you with talk of ship and oar, let me put it another way. A Maelstrom soldier labors till his last breath, fights till his last drop of blood. If we give our all in service to this nation, and expect, and no less is expected of you. Muir. It is customary for new recruits to swear an oath of their own choosing upon entering the Maelstrom's ranks. If Is there aught you'd like to say? What skills I have are yours till sea swallows all. Ah yes, the many varied skills of an adventurer. No doubt that your travels have furnished you with such knowledge as will prove invaluable to our cause. Muir, I hereby assign you the rank of Storm Private 3rd Class. You are now officially a soldier of the Maelstrom. Welcome aboard, Private. May you serve Linselaments well, till sea swallows all. Welcome back. It seems you wasted no time in putting your skills to work. How do I know? Why, the recruitment officer called to regale me with the tale of your heroics. The pride in his voice was palpable. We Scions are truly fortunate to have you with us, Sven. Now, when we last spoke, I said that I wanted you to meet some friends. Did I not? Well, I neglected to mention that you have already met. Bataru, please show them in. This way, sir. Thanks again for getting us out of that mess. Oh, you are loves. But I don't think we properly introduced ourselves. I'm Biggs. And I am Godsman. Spit it out, will ya? Wedge! At your service. I'm pleased to say that Biggs and Wedge will be staying with us for a while. Magitech-driven contraptions such as airships grow ever more vital to the city-states of Eorzea. As a neutral party, it was judged that we Scions should serve as the gatekeepers of this technology. Of course, for this we needed the knowledge of the experts, and so we must request the assistance of Garland Ironworks, who very kindly sent us 2 of their finest engineers. Our happy family continues to grow. On behalf of the Scions, I bid you welcome to the Waking Sands. Waking Sands. Like every soul here, I love Eorzea. And I count myself blessed to have been given this chance to stand with you all and fight for the future of the realm. Never have I known such fulfillment, such happiness.
Now, having set aside the formalities, we have a favor to ask of you. Urianger, have the documents arrived from the students of Baldessian?
Aye, my lady. They arrived but recently.
We have conducted a study at the behest of the Order of the Twin Adder. Papalimo, Ida, a synopsis if you would.
Our task was to survey the behavior of the Sylphs, a beast tribe indigenous to the Twelveswood.
Oh, how to describe them. They look like gisselcreens, floating ones, that worship the primal Ramu.
Ahem. Though technically a beast tribe, Sylphs are blessed with a comparatively personable demeanor, conducive to peaceful communication.
Offering us an invaluable opportunity to learn what the beast tribes know of the primals.
While Ramu's existence is well documented, the Sylphs do not, or perhaps cannot, summon the primal any longer, insofar as can be ascertained. Until such time as we know, it would be unwise to assume that the threat posed by the primal has passed.
Which leaves Gridania with the added worry of not knowing what they should be worrying about.
In that regard, they are hardly alone. What we can say with absolute certainty is that Gridania has its hands full fending off Garuda, who, I need hardly remind you, is among the most savage and terrible of all known primals.
In short, it is essential that we approach the Sylphs in as diplomatic a manner as possible. Words and actions can be misconstrued. The only sure way to communicate our intentions is the echo. Winning the Sylphs' favor may well bring us a step closer to mitigating the threat of the primals. Will you help us? I am grateful.
Lovely. Well, as much as I'd like to help, I'm afraid I would be of little use to anyone in Gridania. A veritable babe in the woods. Ida and Papalimo, however, should be able to see the forest for the trees. Is that not so, Minfilia?
Indeed. You are willing?
Leave it to me.
Us, Ida, us!
Darkness.
Elko hitra bublo hans. Seize that on Rajadorn. Thagon well rogue. Tosan no paiki. Mayhap I might if I deign to speak in my guest crude tongue. We meet at last. I am Lahabrea of the Asians, servant to the one true God. Yours is a most fantastical tale, truly absorbing. It is a tale to tell Eorzea's children before bedtime, and it will soon be dark, bringer of light.
The dark minions.
All that stands between this world and darkness is an irksome anomaly in the ether. The Echo. Yes, yours is a most fascinating tale. Alas, like all good tales, it must needs come to an end. But fear not.
Here, feel the presence of evil.
For the end of your tale is but the beginning of another. The tale of the crystal's demise.
Finally, fresh air. Mayhap not so fresh, but better than before. Ah, Sinister One is gone. This can leave This one can leave this awful place. Did Walking One vanquish the many-legged one? This one is grateful to Walking One. This one is called Frixio, oldest of these ones of little settlers. Squad reporting, sir. Nothing of note at Larkscall, sir. Understood. Return to Area 12. Damn it all. Where is that accursed icon hiding? No sign of our prisoned friend? Afraid not, my lord. I shall order the search perimeter be expanded? Absolutely not. We risk alerting the Gridanians of our presence. His Excellency bid us avoid unnecessary confrontation. Loath though I am to admit it, I have found no evidence to suggest that Ramu will be gracing the mortal realm in the near future. I ask you, what good is a god who does not grant one's wishes? Were I a Sylph, I should strongly consider myself finding another idol. Which reminds me, what of the Sylphs we captured? A handful of them seemed to be in reasonably good health when I last looked. My apologies, my lord. I fear we may have been overzealous in our efforts to compel them to summon their icon. Really, Centurion? Were you not aware that vegetables bruise easily? It is well that I did not entrust you with the important task of making my dinner. Well, mayhap it was a kindness. Better dead in truth than dead to one's own god, I suppose. If you believe in such things. Dawn is upon us. Make ready to withdraw. Useless. We are so close to completion, I can bear taste it, but at this rate... No, I must be patient. Our efforts will bear fruit in due time. What was it you always said? Oh, yes. Though it means bringing down the very heavens, who shall challenge the limits of possibility, if not we? In that alone you were right, darling. But your star has long fallen, while mine doth begin to rise. And it shall burn so bright that Lord Vandelsar's ultimate weapon, will seem a mere candle beside it. Those walking ones did for Noxia. This one is certain of it. This one fears that other ones taken also suffer the same fate. This one is convinced walking ones have black hearts. Think only to harm these ones. Walking ones are not to be trusted. Now, Noraxia. Do not pass judgment so hastily. Not all walking ones are alike. Though there are evil ones among the walking ones, there are good ones also. Why does Walking One feel unwell? This one would know what brings Walking One to this place. Came to this one's rescue at Noraxia's bidding. Then this one owes Walking One a great debt of gratitude. Walking One has questions about Lord Ramu. Then this one will provide answers. But first, let these ones quit this lightless place. This one will return to Little Soulless, and when Walking One is ready, please come to see this one. These ones may speak properly then. Then it is settled. Let these one accompany Walking One outside. This one has been expecting Walking One. This one fetches Elder One. This one is pleased to see Walking One again. Welcome to the home of these ones. Ah, there you are, Fen. We have just been hearing a tale of your deeds and deeds of daring do. Well done. Ah, the Walking Ones who aided Noraxia. This one is grateful. A pleasure to have been of service. If you do not mind my asking, how did your misadventures come about? This one does not mind. The misadventures, as Walking One calls them, of this one began when Imperial ones entered the wood. Fearing trouble, these ones decided to watch Imperial ones closely. But these ones watched too closely, and Imperial ones noticed and tried to catch these ones. Having nowhere else to hide, these ones fled into Totorak. Would that this one had not. In Totorak, a sinister one robed in black tried to feed this one to a many-legged one. A sinister one robed in black? Why do I have a feeling that I should be more worried about that than I am? Elder Frixia, we came to you as emissaries of the nation of Gridania. This missive bears the word of the Elder Seatsia. So, this one sees. So Walking Ones of Gridania, fearful of Lord Ramu. Plainly put, yes. Your people summoned the Lord of Levin but once. Yet that single occurrence occasioned great alarm. But it's not as if the Gridanians dislike you or anything. Actually, it's just the opposite. They think of you as friends, and they don't want anything to get in the way of that. That is why the Elder Seatseer wrote to you. This one well knows and respects Horned One Kani Sena. Be assured, Walking Ones of Gridania, these ones have no desire for conflict. These ones resorted to summoning Lord Ramu to protect the wood from Imperial. This one counseled against doing so, but was not heeded. Against this one's wishes, Lord Ramu was summoned, and all those ones who took part became touched ones. These ones want so desperately to turn touch ones back to normal ones, but did not know how, and still do not know how. Touched ones, meanwhile, want to turn these ones into touched ones, and did know how. So, this one fled to Little Soulless, with all those ones who did not wish to be bound to Lord Ramu. But walking ones of Gridania need not be touched ones or Lord Ramu. Unlike other primals, Lord Ramu is not callous and cruel. So long as walking ones do not trespass upon those ones' ancestral homeland, where touched ones reside, walking ones need not suffer thunderous judgment. But this one has spoken enough of touched ones. This one would speak instead of these ones. As this one said, these ones desire peace with walking ones of Britannia, and so these ones ask for a chance to set things right. By way of an addendum, mortals who are tempered come to take on the qualities embodied by the primal in question. In the case of Sylphs, Ramu's influence has made them fiercely protective of their homeland. That explains why they're so hostile towards trespassers, but what about the abductions? A fine question, Ida. The abductions are, I believe, an expression of the tempered Sylph's desire for reconciliation, another quality traditionally associated with Ramu. It is in the crudest manner imaginable, they seek to bring their fellows back into the fold. A timely reminder that the challenges posed by each primal are unique. Elder Frixio, we thank you for making your will known to us. The people of Gridania will rest easier in the knowledge that they and the Sylphs are united in their desire for peace. Wishing to cooperate, this one has written down the feelings of these ones. Please see that these feelings are conveyed to Horned One Kani Sena. And with that, I believe we can lay the matter of Ramu to rest. That Sylph Elder is very reasonable, I must say. I could learn a lot from him. Was that a jibe? If so, I feel it only fair to observe that one of us wouldn't recognize reason if it punched her in the nose. Did I say fair? I meant reasonable. Anyway, we're going to head back to the Waking Sands and tell Minfilia all about it. Fear not. We will be sure to mention the instrumental part you played in all of this. And while we see to that, we should appreciate it if you would deliver Frixio's missive to the Adder's Nest. Elder Frixio, we humbly thank you for your time. It has been an honor. The honor is this one's. Together, with the walking ones of Gridania, and these ones find a way to live in peace. Please wait, Walking One Fen. This one has yet to give Walking One a token of one's appreciation. These ones summoned Lord Ramu. These ones were gifted this crystal. This one would now bestow the crystal upon Walking One as a symbol of one's trust. This one was not mistaken about Walking One. Walking One is destined to walk a fate far crueler than this one can imagine. A brilliant light from Walking One enveloped the crystal this one saw. Mark this one well. That crystal will one day be of use to Walking One. Walking One must keep that crystal safe at all times. Before Walking One returns to Gridania, this one would ask Walking One to watch Touched Ones. So long as Touched Ones are not troubled, Touched Ones will not make trouble. If Walking One witnesses Touched Ones making no trouble, mayhap Walking One can testify to Walking Ones of Gridania that these ones mean no harm. These ones' homeland is fraught with danger. This one marks down a safe place to look out for Touched Ones.